Jenny, I'm Deirdre. You can unmute yourself and be like, I can't hear you. Hi, nice to meet you. Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, so, this practice, any yoga practice, any exercise that you choose to do at all, it's your body. And so, what you have in the tank better than anyone. And so, if there's a point of the practice where you're like, child's pose, go for it. If you do the entire practice in child's pose, awesome. You're not gonna do it wrong. As long as you're listening to your body, you won't do it wrong. Yeah. I think the beauty of using the app to clue you into, what kind of energetic field am I in today, is it's tuning you to pay better attention, right? And for me at least, when I get a recover day, I'm like, oh, okay, I have some permission. Because it's hard to give yourself that permission sometimes. And so, yeah, right. Because what the capitalistic society is like, no, you must produce the most today and tomorrow, Yeah. So take it really, really easy and enjoy yourself. Nice to meet you. Oh, also, while you're up, Jenny, grab a full-sized towel. We're going to do some heart opening today. And I'm going to go ahead and hit mute on you again. Christy, I don't know if you were able to hear me also, but grab a full-size towel if you can hear me. If you can, you can. No. You don't have, and the beauty of this is you don't ever have to have your camera on. So I love it. Wonderful. Welcome. Okay. Interesting. All right, let's begin. So go ahead and grab your towels and fold them up end to end, and then again from the halfway to the end again. Ta-da. And then take from the side and roll. Make a little jelly roll. Cool, like this, wonderful. Yeah, we're gonna lay it at the top of our mat, maybe a third of the way down. And we're gonna land so that our bra strap or just the tips of the shoulder blades hit. So go ahead and grab that. Hi, Sandy. Grab if you don't have a full-size towel with you, Sandy, go ahead and grab that. We're gonna start with a rolled up towel. And then just go ahead and lay back. It shouldn't be underneath the blades of the shoulder blades, okay? It is right below the tips, the points. So the roll is not making contact on the face of the scapula. And then take your feet as wide as the mat, heels out, toes in, knees together. And then just go ahead and begin to breathe. That's a great place to start. Breath. And if at any point there's any difficulty hearing me, you can wave me down or put it in the chat. So yeah, you can decide to either have your legs out long, like Jenny's doing, or you might have your feet, the soles of the feet on the floor, knees pointing up and together. If the feet are wide, the knees can come together. And the palms can face up. And perhaps you can begin to feel the opening through the chest. Feeling the rise and fall of the belly and the chest as you breathe. You've arrived into your practice today. Just breathing here without needing to anticipate anything or plan. Feel the space between the brows soften. And begin to deepen the inhales and the exhales. Getting really intentional with your pattern of breathing. Imagine that heart space opens a bit more with every inhale. Expanding and softening with every exhale. What happens as we expand into our heart, as well as soften it? Smooth out the edges. And begin to roll over to one side, you choose. Little fetal position, pause. Press your hand into the earth, begin to upright. Take the little roll, you can put it off to the side. We'll come back to it. And then just sit with right shin in front of left. Hands on knees. Chin to chest. Breathe into the back of the neck. Think of the spine continuing to grow long. Right up to the cervical spine where that begins, where the curve starts. And then like a marble in a bowl, rolling from side to side. And take a full rotation over to the right. Through center, go twice more. Total of 3 times. You're getting into your body. Pause at center. Lift chin from chest. Take arms into a cactus. Heart pulls forward as you inhale. Exhale, curve and round the spine, tucking chin to chest. Inhale, heart shines forward, chin lifts, look up. Exhale, round in. So we're rounding and arching. The inhale brings us forward, get big. Exhale, round in like you're holding a beach ball. Twice more. Inhale, big, 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 big. Elbows together. Exhale, round it forward. Final one. Inhale, heart, shine it through. And round through the spine. Come up through center. Float the arms up, overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Any amount. Hands can land on the earth, tented on fingertips. Head can hang. They might crawl out. The chest might make some contact with the legs. And we're all in different bodies. Every day, the body could feel very different from the one before. So allow yourself to show up to what this body today is offering. Can the breath continue to get deeper through the practice? And slowly crawl back up through center. Switch the crossing of the shins. Hands to knees. Sit bones root towards the earth. Crown of the head lifts tall. Chin to chest. Like that marble rocking from side to side. And then take it all the way in the opposite direction towards the left. If you followed my rotation on the first round, go 3 times to this direction. And then pause down center. Lift chin from chest. Tent up onto fingertips outside of your hips, like you're making a triangle. We're going to lift the left arm up and then sweep it towards the right. Come through center, left hand down, right arm up, and then bend the left elbow tip towards the left. So you're just moving side to side, stretching through the side waist, feeling the sit bones continue to root towards the earth. All the while, thinking of that heart center inflating with breath. Grateful for this beautiful body that moves. After the next time the left hand reaches up and over to the right, we'll pause. Breathe here. Try and tuck your chin towards your armpit, looking over towards the opposite side. If the left hand is the one reaching, the left sit bone presses to the earth and the shoulders roll away from the ears. Come up through center, left hand down, right arm up and over. Left elbow bends, reach, reach, reach. Think of the ribs spreading wider. Chin tucks in towards armpit. You peek over towards the right side of the mat as the right sit bone roots to the earth. Another deep breath into the waist. And through center. Roll the shoulders out. A little wiggle of the waist. And let's come to hands and knees. So one of the cues you will hear me talking about has to do with internal and external rotation. So just really quickly, for the arms, if you reach your arms out in front of you like you're holding a platter, the triceps can hug in as we activate our arms. If I just don't activate, nothing happens. So the triceps hug in and the biceps are rolling out. Now, with my arm extended like this, as if I'm holding something in front of me, my forearm is also doing this external rotation. I can maintain this external rotation in my upper arm while I can pronate my forearm. So I get that internal rotation. This is a down dog arm. This is exactly what we're looking for when we're in down dog or tabletop. So we're gonna go ahead and create this kind of, duality that's happening in the arm. External rotation, so the inner tricep, or the tricep hugs in and the bicep rolls out. And then pronating the forearm. So we're gonna go ahead and take that to the top of the mat. Line the hands up underneath the shoulders. Index fingers can point forward or slightly flared out. And then knees line up under hips. Just sway the hips from side to side. Pause with knees and hips in line. Slight bend to the elbows. Feel them scoop in. Tip the heart forward. Inhale. Exhale. Pull belly to spine, dome through the back. Inhale, draw the heart forward, cow pose. Exhale, round into cat. Twice more. After this second traditional round, go ahead and take circles. Rounding the spine, swinging the hips, rolling the shoulders, the neck. Let it get a little animalistic, let it get unsymmetric. Feel a little weird about it, maybe close the eyes. Notice if there's little voices, little judgments coming up. Notice them. Give them a little compassion. And then slowly come to stillness. Step the right foot back. Toes are on the floor, heel pressing back, belly to spine, little pulse of the heel back. Stretching our Achilles and calf. And then pause, shoulders stay over wrists. From here we can notice the rotation of the right leg. The inner thigh rolls up towards the sky. That's internal rotation. It's just like Tadasana, mountain pose. And the outer hip rolling towards the earth. The belly pulls up and in. And as you press into the left shin, the left toes press to the earth, maybe the right leg can begin to float. Notice if the hip has rolled open. Keep the outer right hip rolling towards the earth. As you draw the heel back, draw the belly in. Maybe you tent up onto left fingertips or reach that left arm forward. Keep that slight bend in the right elbow, scoop it in. Nice and slow, hand and knee land at the same time. Press down into the left arm, reach the right arm up to the sky. And then weave it underneath the left side. Lower the back of the hand to the earth. The shoulder rests down. The head can rest on the earth or a block. Press into the left hand, reach the right arm up to the sky. And swim the hand forward and down, maybe follow it with your eyes. It lands. Step the left foot back, press through the heel. Little pulse here. Begin to press into the top of the right shin, the right foot. Inner left thigh rolls up, belly to spine, soft bend in the elbows. Begin to float the leg. Keep zipping belly up and in. Think of a long line of energy out the back body and up the front body. Tent onto the fingertips of the right hand. And maybe the arm reaches. Feel the tailbone reach back as the crown of the head reaches forward. Here you are. Nice and steady. Hand and knee land. Left arm reach up. Exhale, weave it underneath the body, coming into this twist. Nice heavy sighs out the mouth. Something that vibrates the vocal cords. Stimulates the vagus nerve. Press into the right hand. Reach the left arm up. And swim it forward and down. Follow it with your eyes. Walk the hands forward. They should come out from underneath the shoulders about 3 or 4 inches. Notice where the weight is in the hand. Is it in the heel on the pinky side? That's a tendency. Try and shift it more towards the space between the thumb and index fingers. As those root down and then press through every single knuckle of the hand out to the fingertips. Tuck the toes, lift the knees an inch. Keep the scoop of the elbows. And then press the hips up and back. So here we are, pedaling out our feet in downward facing dog. And slowly finding your way into some stillness. Breathing here. On the inhale, float into plank pose. Hands line up underneath shoulders. Heels press back. Inner thighs roll up towards the sky. Belly pulls up and in. Plank pose is Tadasana, facing the earth. Bend the knees, lift the hips, down dog. Now let's visit Tadasana. Walk the hands towards the feet. Come into a forward fold at the back of the mat. Head is heavy, knees are soft. Sit bones are smiling away from each other and up towards the sky. Slowly, one vertebrae at a time, let's roll up towards standing. Vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae, crown of the head lands on the top of it all. Take a look down at your feet. Feet, let's take them hips distance. So the heels line up right underneath your hip points. Outer edges of the feet are nice and parallel, like the number 11, like railroad tracks. They're parallel with each other. They're parallel with the sides of the mat. If you're not used to this way of standing, it probably feels turned in, because most of us stand with our feet, toes flared out. So this way of standing with the edges of the feet parallel allows the inner thighs to begin to roll in. So internal rotation in the inner thighs. That activates our outer hips. Give the knees a little soft bend. Inner arches lift, outer ankles hug. Belly pulls up and in as tailbone descends. So think of front body lifting, back body descending. Front ribs hug in. Collarbone spreads wide. Let's get this heart open. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Just be here, standing in Tadasana, noticing all of the activation that's necessary for this supported standing pose. Keep everything the same, just float the arms up. Maybe the gaze lifts. Keep the front body hugging in. On the next exhale, cactus the elbows out to the side. Keep the heart lifted. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus, and hold. Inhale. Keep the hip points forward. Just twist the chest towards the right. Exhale. Inhale, center. Hips stay forward. Exhale, twist chest to the left. It's not a big movement. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Last inhale to center. And fold over the legs. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, downward facing dog. Crawl the hands forward. 3 breaths here. Smooth it out. Lift the right leg. Inhale. Bend the knee, open the hip. Notice if the elbows are flared out, scoop them in. Exhale, round the knee forward, tap the nose, look through, step the foot forward. Walk it out to the side, lower the back knee down. Untuck the toes of the left foot. Press into the front heel, hug the hip in, float the arms up. Drop the hands to hips. Notice if you're lunging forward like this and the front hip point is kind of collapsed into the front thigh. Think of lifting the frontal hip points as you drop the tailbone. You'll come out of that deep bend. As we do that, we're lifting these frontal hip points, and that's where we get the stretch in the left leg. The outer right hip drops down and hugs in, and then the arms can float up. As you press into the front heel, imagine you could scrub it back. Inhale. Exhale, cactus the arms out to the side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release the hands behind the back. You can interlace the hands here, or you could hold on to a strap between the hands. So the knuckles touch your sacrum, trying to get the elbows closer together, pressing the heart forward. Think of that connection of the knuckles and the sacrum, drawing the tailbone to the earth. Heart lifting. Release the hands. Inhale, they float up. Exhale, hands to the earth. Pull the hips back. Let's stretch into our hamstring on the right side. Hands can be on blocks, on stools, maybe just on hips if you haven't got any props nearby. Pulling the belly up and in if the hands are on the hips. If the hands make it towards the earth, all right, that's fine. The toes might float. As you scrub the hips back evenly, nice and equidistant from the top of the mat. Rebend the front knee. Tuck the back toes, straighten the leg. Plant the hands to the earth. Nice and slow, step back into plank pose. Come forward onto the toes and then lower the knees. Lower down halfway, that's our modified chaturanga. And then all the way to the earth. Walk the hands out onto the, whatever is not the mat. For me, it's the wood. Press the tops of the feet. Pull belly up and in. Tent onto the fingers. Begin to lift heart up. On the exhale, roll back down. This can get as big and as exaggerated as you like. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lowering. You could think of it like a wave crashing, receding, and then coming back. Keep the tops of the feet pressing. Keep the legs engaged. Once more. And land. Reach the right arm out like a T. Peek over at it. Make sure it's nice and in line with the right shoulder. Walk the left hand beside the chest. And then slowly roll onto the right hip. Stretching the pec and shoulder on the right side. The left knee could be bent in front of the hips, or you could step the foot behind the right thigh. There's all different modifications. Roll onto the belly. Walk the right hand in. Extend the left arm out. Peek over, make sure it's in line with the shoulder. And then turn the head towards the right as you roll onto the right hip. Again, you could have that right knee bent forward if this is already a plenty big stretch, or you might step the foot back behind you. And then back onto the belly. Walk the hands beside the chest. Press tops of the feet to the earth. Belly up and in. Begin to undulate. The spine lifts. Elbows keep hugging it. Exhale, lower. That's cobra. Tops of the feet press. Pelvis presses. Belly up and in. Heart and head lift. Exhale, lower. Keep that heart reaching forward. Inhale, lift. This time tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Keep a soft bend in the knees and the elbows. Front body hugs back body. Go ahead and inhale, lift the left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, round the spine, look through, step the foot forward. Lower the back knee down. Untuck the right toes, press into the left heel, begin to float up. Hands come to hips. Let's get our hips situated. So if it's a deep bend there, begin to lift the frontal hip points. Send the tailbone to the earth, hug the outer hips in. Keep pressing into the front heel, float the arms. Exhale, cactus the elbows, lift the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, release the hands to the low back. Interlace the fingers and then move one finger over so it's the funky way. Knuckles touch the tailbone. Drawing the tailbone down, pulling the elbows together. Lifting the heart, lift the gaze. But don't dump into the back of the neck. Let's keep the neck long on all four sides. Release the hands, inhale, float the arms. Exhale, hands to the earth and pull the hips back. So just like before, maybe blocks, maybe hands to hips, maybe the toes float. But the hips are pulling back evenly. And the breath is smooth. Rebend the front knee. Plant the hands, tuck the back toes, straighten the back leg. Step back into plank. Come forward onto toes, lower knees, halfway lower. And come through into cobra, elbows hug in, heart reaches forward, tuck toes. Down dog. Breath smooths it all out. Soft bend to the knees, inner thighs spiral back. Right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Look through, step the foot forward. Step it out to the side. Stay high on the back toes, bend deeply into that front knee. Heel roots down as the outer hip hugs. Come onto fingertips. Keep that left leg super engaged as we come up, crescent warrior. So we can check our alignment points. Frontal hip points lifting, outer hips hugging, inner left thigh spirals back, and front knee moves towards 90 as we press into the front heel. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look up. Exhale, cactus the arms, keep the gaze lifted. Take a little twist to the right, keep the hips hugging. Beautiful. Fix your gaze, one point of focus. Reach the arms out like a T. On the inhale, float the arms up and forward. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step back through plank, lift the hips, down dog. Inhale, the left leg lifts up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, round the spine. Look through to the hands, gently step the foot forward. Strong back leg, up onto fingertips, belly up and in. Root down into the front heel. Begin to lift up. Here we are, crescent warrior. Slight bend in the back knee is lovely. Helps to have a long line in the torso. Pull the pelvic floor up and in. Shoulders away from ears. Long, long line of energy. Cactus the elbows on the exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cactus, pause. Heart lifted. Think of the shoulder blades coming more towards one another. And then begin to take that twist. Keep the hips forward. It's just the chest. Keep the back leg fired up. Reach the arms out. Twisted crescent warrior. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, hands to the earth. Okay, let's step back. Either through a vinyasa, chaturanga, back bend, or straight into down dog. We're here for 4 breaths, so maybe child's pose is sounding delicious right now. Go for it. I won't leave you behind. I'll let you know when we're moving on. Connect to the breath. Two more breaths. Whenever you're ready, you come back to down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Starting on this side this time. Exhale, knee to nose. Look through to the hands, step the foot forward. Swivel the back heel down on a slight angle. Press into the front heel. Begin to lift up, warrior 2. So hands to hips. Let's just set up our pose here. We'll start with our feet. You can straighten somewhat into that front leg. So our back toes, they're not pointing towards the side of the mat completely. It's not like a straight line to the side of the mat. There's a slight angle of them, not even a 45-degree angle with that foot. The toes, the knee, and the hip are all lined up, pointing the same way. Lift the inner arch and see how that fires up the whole leg. Feel the inner thigh spiral to the wall behind you. Hands to hips. Take a look at your front knee. We're going to, as we bend it, we're going to track it over the second and third toe. There we go. We stop towards 90. Lift the frontal hip points. So there might be a tendency for a collapsing of this left hip forward. Lift it up as you drop the back hip down. From the pelvic floor, pull up, and then the arms extend. Keep pressing into that back foot. Warrior 2. And think of the heart opening here. So the shoulders roll away from the ears. Shoulder blades coming towards one another. Begin to straighten into the front leg. Hands release. Toes come towards the right side of the mat. So now all of our toes are pointing towards the right side. Hands to hips, heels in, toes out. So feet are now on a 45-degree angle, pointing towards the outer corners of the right side of the mat. And we're going to sink down, but we're going to take our time there. We're going to sway a little bit to get there, kind of like we're on a ship. And the tailbone gets lower and lower, and we wiggle our waist long. And maybe just a little pulsing. Hands can rest on the thighs or hips. Maybe they're lifted if you want a little extra fire. Belly pulls up and in. Breath is smooth, connecting you to this moment. And then press into the legs, straighten it out. Woo. Keep this movement towards the back of the mat. Right toes point towards the back of the mat. Left toes come in slightly. So we're setting up warrior 2 on this side. We know this well already. Lift the inner arch of the left leg. Feel the inner thigh. Spiral back. Toes, knee, hip, all in the same direction. Hands to hips, belly to spine. Begin to bend into that right knee. Track the knee towards the second and third toe. Knee lines up over ankle. You could feel the inner right thigh, and it rolls over the top of the thigh towards the outer thigh as the outer hip hooks in and under. And then the arms extend. You feel the lift through the side waist, the proud heart here. And the breath lands you deeper into this moment. Release the arms, straighten the front leg. Toes point again to the right side. This time, edges of the feet stay parallel. Hands to hips, tailbone to the earth. Front body lifted up from the pelvic floor, from the low abdominals. Keep a soft bend in the knees. Begin to spin the pelvic wheel. So we're tilting forward over the thighs. Instead of just bending from the waist, we're really using the tilt of the pelvis to fold in. Hands can land on the earth. Maybe the fold can go a little bit deeper. It really depends on hip and hamstring flexibility. You are where you are, and that's perfect. And you breathe. Remembering to keep a soft bend in the knees so there's more weight to the ball of the foot. Remembering to lift the inner arches, hug the outer ankles, and spiral the inner thighs back behind you. Come back up halfway. Belly pulls up and in. If you have a block, you can place it underneath your face, or you might just be up onto fingertips. Take the left hand to the small of the back. The right hand is down in front of you. Keep pulling belly up and in. Just turn the chest. Notice, so the left hand is there to notice if the hips have gone along for the ride. You should be able to put a teacup on your low back and it won't go spilling off the side. You can hug the left hip in to accomplish that. And then release that twist and switch sides. Left hand down under the face, right hand on the small of the back. Open the chest to the right. Keep a soft bend in the knees. And release that. Walk the hands all the way back to the top of the mat. Point the left toes, come onto the right toes. Step forward to the top of the mat. Forward fold, grab a hold of either elbow, maybe a little bounce or a sway, whatever is calling to the body right here, right now. Release the arms. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold in. Plant into the feet, sweep the arms up and overhead. Inhale. Exhale, cactus, heart lifts. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, lead with the heart, fold in. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold in. Plant into the feet, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, cactus, the elbows out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive forward, lead with the heart. Once more through this half sun salutation. Inhale, lift, flat back. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Plant into the feet. Inhale, Utthita Hasta Tadasana, arms lifted. Exhale, cactus, the elbows. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, lead with the heart, fold in. Bend the knees. Bend, 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 bend. Sit onto your tush. Hands behind the hamstrings. Heart lifts. So we'll all start here. This might be plenty. You could be on toes as you pull the belly up and in. Heart is lifted. You can begin to shift the weight little by little. Maybe the toes could float. You could flex the feet, or you could really flex end point. And then maybe the shins are parallel. Just 30 seconds of your life here. Heart stays lifted. After these next 10 seconds, we are going into our cool down. 3, 2, 1. Feet on the earth, hands behind hips. Lift the hips, reverse tabletop. Lower the hips. Cross the shins. Shift the hips from side to side. Float the arms up, inhale, and fold over the shins. You can scoot the hips back. Sukhasana, forward fold. You could have a block under the forehead. Or you might stack fist on fist if you're close. Or the head can just hang if you're a little bit more lifted. Wherever you are, what can you soften? As the practice slows down, continue to encourage the mind to stay present with this moment. We did a whole bunch of heart opening, inviting the muscles that surround our most prized possession, inviting them to soften and open, letting our nervous system know that all is well. We can move through this world a little bit more with a softer, more open heart. And slowly lift up. And switch the crossing of the shins. Coming into the next hip. The arms can float. You can scoot the hips back, wiggle out of the waist, and fold in. The head can hang. As you breathe here, feeling yourself soften towards the earth. Feel the back of the heart breathing. And slowly lifting. Extend the legs out in front of you. Flex the feet back. Move the flesh out from underneath the sit bones. Bend the right knee. Sole of the foot on the earth. Float the left arm up and begin to twist over towards the right. You can hook the left hand around the right leg and the right hand can be behind you like a kickstand. Make sure you keep that left foot nice and flexed and engaged. One more full breath in and out. As you unwind, bring the sole of the foot to the inner left thigh. Float the arms up, stretch long, and fold in over that left leg. Head can hang. Feeling the inner thigh rolling towards the earth. And then roll it on back up. Bring the right knee in, extend the right leg long, bend the left knee, sole of the foot to the earth. Think of lifting the heart. Stretch the right arm up, exhale, twist. Grab a hold of the left leg. Make sure that right foot stays flexed. I often forget it. So let's engage that foot, press the heel to the earth. Roll the shoulders away from the ears as you lift the heart. One more breath in. As you exhale, unwind. open the left knee out to the side, sole of the foot to inner thigh. Float the arms up, and then tilting from that pelvis. Sit bones reach back. Hands can land on the shin, maybe the ankle or foot. Head can hang, spine can round. Go ahead and roll up through center. Both legs forward. Dandasana. Move the flesh out from under the sit bones. Flex the feet back. Long line of energy as you reach up through the hands. Send the sit bones back as you tilt forward with the pelvis. Hands land. Head to head can be heavy. Ah, nice heavy sigh out the mouth. Ah. And then rolling up. Scoot hips towards heels. Grab the roll. This time take it the long way down the spine. And then roll onto it. It lands between the shoulder blades. And then you could cactus your arms out to the side. I like my feet on the floor with knees together here. A few breaths here, inviting the heart to soften and open. And then decide which way to roll off. Pause. You can press yourself up a little bit, move the little roll away, and come onto your back again. Hug the knees in. Tuck chin towards the knees. Little counter here to that back bend. Then lower the head back down and just rock from side to side. Let the feet come to the earth, maybe the legs extend. Setting up for Shavasana. Any shape of the body. Take a deep breath in. And a heavy sigh out the mouth, allowing yourself to rest here. Finding your way again, using the breath. And the space behind the eyes softens. The brow lets go. Moving your way out through the jaw and the throat, the shoulders, releasing towards the earth. As the heart shines up towards the sky, allowing all of the muscles around the chest and ribs to melt towards the earth. The arms grow heavy, the hips grow heavy. All the way out the legs towards the feet, surrendering. Start to deepen the breath. Feeling it fill the torso. Slowly exhaling it out. Let the depth of the breath move out through the extremities. And begin gentle movements in the hands and feet. Reach the arms up and back. And then hug the knees towards the torso. Give yourself a nice moment here, appreciating your body. Make your way into a seat, either roll to one side or rock forward and back. And when you land, pause for a moment with eyes gently closed. Scan the body, notice what you notice here. What's shifted, what's remained. Bring the hands together, nestle them right into the heart center. Lift the heart, bow the head. And send a little moment of gratitude to your heart, keeping you up and moving, keeping you connected. Shanti, peace. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you have a great day.